we are in the portion of Devarim. And the portion of Devarim, normally, those of you who read Zohar, you're not going to find the Zohar in Devarim. But Rav Ashlag said, go to Balak, and you find all the secret in Balak of Devarim. So let's go through the parasha. And then, step by step, we see what's happening. First, the book of Devarim, which is the 5th book of Moses, is a book that is just repeat everything that happened before, from Shemot, from the book of Exodus. And Moses basically is telling them what they did wrong, which is rough and tough. I mean, after all, who like to hear what they did wrong? You want to get more followers, you have to tell them what they did right. Nobody want to hear what they did wrong. What if they really did something wrong? They still don't want to hear what they did wrong. People, nature of people, humanity. Humanity will follow people who will lie to their face if they tell them what they did right. That's how it works. Or tell them the truth, that they did something right. But the person cannot handle what they did wrong. Moses, 40 days, is telling the people what they did wrong, until he died. First, he was waiting for 40 years, minus 40 days, to talk to them, to criticize them. And many of the commentary asking why. Why you have to do what we call tochacha, when you talk to people about what was wrong with them, what will happen with them in a negative way. I mean, what would you rather have? And it's a question for you guys, and you can write it down as a question for Rosh Hashanah. What would you rather have? Would you have people that tell you what you did wrong and how to not repeat it? Or you rather have people who just compliment you every time that you hit the target? It's a question, right? I mean, I'm asking you, what do you think? How does it sit with you? I mean, you can say both and then you're safe. Then you eat fish and you don't eat milk or meat. But I'm talking about if you really want to choose, if you had to choose, you rather be motivated by people tell you how great you are every time you're great. I mean, think of a mistake you did. I don't know, cooking, dating, commitment, sport commitment, diet commitment, I don't know what commitment you did. And somebody saw that you didn't keep your part of the commitment. And they go ahead and they call you on that. Or you did something right, and they tell you this one good thing you did. And they keep repeating it, because they didn't do any good things again. They just did this one thing. So they just repeat it. So seriously, what would you rather have in your life? Yeah, you can speak.
I know what would feel better. It would feel better to hear what was right.
To feel better to hear what was right. You're right.
There's not much use in it. There's no way to grow and do more things right. So
to get motivated,
I would prefer to know what's wrong.
You would prefer to know what's wrong.
Right. So I could improve and do more stuff right.
So if I ask you, why would you say most people are not comfortable to hear this criticism? Why would your answer will be?
Yeah, you just put in the mirror in your face of just the things you're short.
So you're just looking at yourself in the mirror, that's your answer?
No, it's nobody likes to hear where they're not perfect and where they can't do, they can't perform.
Okay. Different
feel,
opinion.
Makes you feel small.
Okay.
They get comfortable not knowing, and then
when something happens where it forces them to grow, they find it uncomfortable as opposed to,
No, I'm not asking that question. I'm saying first question.
they might not know.
What do you rather have?
Oh, I rather have the telling me what I'm doing wrong.
So you rather have the criticism.
Right.
Wow, that's interesting. Interesting. I have a whole argument on Instagram today with a lady about that life should not be pain if it's connected to God. I don't know if you read it. So I was going on with that. It was no point, so I stopped. So,
Of course, the criticism is better, but you have to be balanced before you can take it in. I guess that's.
you have to be balanced.
If you're not in the right frame of mind, where is your consciousness? Is it to better yourself, or is it just you're not there?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Right, left, and center opinion. Okay, 3 opinions here. The point is that why people get angry when they hear criticism. I think the reason because it requires change. It requires commitment of change. And if that requires a commitment of change, then a person committed to grow, and that's not easy. So if the Beatles go into the studio and the head of the studio say, listen, the way your voice go with the guitar is not so good. So I don't think they get insulted because they're professional to make it the best. They have goals. So, and I have some of those recordings of the Beatles try to make one song. It was so many hours until they get it right. I'm listening to it and listening to it. Somebody from a studio in New York gave it to me. It's amazing. One song. And they're crushing them. So what are you doing, man? Stop with the bass. Stop, lower it. Don't. Then he tried the voice. Why they can take criticism? So maybe you're right, maybe because they're balanced, they are in a place that they believe in themselves. So they can take criticism. So Moses here, it says, Ele הדברים, דברים mean those are the thing, אשר דיבר משה אל כל ישראל, for the entire Israel, בעבר הירדן, across the Jordan River, במדבר, in the desert, בערבה, in the place called ערבה. ערבה comes from the word ערב, ערב means evening. מול סוף, across from סוף mean also bamboo, bushes, or סוף mean end, E-N-D, or mean the Red Sea. בין פרן ובין תופל. פרן, as explained דגל מחנה אפרים, can be פאר, luxury, and תופל can be the lowest level. So it could be what Faye was saying before, balance. You have to get into balance internally so you will be capable to take criticism. Because if you cannot take criticism based on what this book is teaching us, then you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. How far is the criticism turned into abuse? It's a question. When the energy cannot be translated into words. Cannot. I mean, what is energy? So, when the vibration of the talk is just to hurt the individual until it's taken away from them their creativity and the ability to perform, that sign is it's going nowhere. But if the criticism is coming from a place that I want you to make it, it's a good criticism. It seems here that Moses wanted the people to make it. And we know that he wanted them to make it. Because in the end, he said to them, and all the blessings that you have, may God give you 1,000 more. So it's very similar to a father and son kind of a story. And in every book, they talk about father and son. I don't know why they don't talk about mother and daughter. Why in every book of Kabbalah, Zohar, Torah, Talmud, talk about father and son. When they want to mention love, they talk about father and love son. They don't talk about mother and daughter. Go figure. Not my business. I have a bunch of women here, don't want to mess. And we are in LA. I leave it alone. So, when father gets angry with the son, he gets angry with the son for one reason. Because he wants the son to make it. Without him. It's almost like the father prepared the son for the day that the father no longer will be here. Why is a mitzvah? Why is there is a precept to teach your son how to make a living? To teach your son how to swim? It's kind of a weird thing that the Torah tells you have to do it as a father. Have to, not maybe. You have to teach your son making a living. You have to teach him spirituality. And you have to teach him swimming. Swimming and making a living doesn't seem so spiritual. But I'd say if you don't teach him how to make a living, he will turn to be a thief. He might study Torah, but he will be a thief. There is few people like that out there. So a person has to be able to take this criticism in the right way. Unfortunately, we are living in a universe right now that people are weak. And the next generation become weaker. People, the way you know people are powerful is how they take criticism. If a person cannot take criticism, that's mean to begin with, they're very weak. They cannot perform miracle. They cannot perform a powerful relationship with people. They cannot perform a lot. You just need to hide. You need to hide from what we call the pressure. That pressure, tonight is that's why I light the candle for Rabbi Isaac Luria, is the night of Ari Kadosh. Now I'm going to speak about him after the lecture. We are not have enough people willing to take any pressure for making a difference. People don't want to take the pressure. People want things to be ready, and the universe is serving the need of being comfortable. What does being comfortable mean? After all, more comfortable you become, less happy you become. People relate comfort with happiness. I'm telling you. There's no comfort that I'm not familiar with my experience with traveling everywhere. I've been everywhere, done everything. Comfort is not equal happiness. Money is not equal happiness. It's not. You're going to sleep with a bed made of gold in Montecito, with a helicopter taking you to your private jet and fly you back to New York. You're going to have it all. And you're still not going to be happy. Because happiness is not thing to do with the physical domain fulfillment. So when somebody comes to criticize you and to remove that layer of physicality that been attached so much to the golden bed, to the helicopter and to the private jet and to the luxurious dress that you just bought, stupidity. Who told you that brings happiness? Who even put it in your mind? The company who needs to sell you the dress? The company needs to sell you the toilet made of gold, and there is a toilet made of gold? I sent you to one of those places in Miami, right? With the key made of gold, if you remember. No details on camera. So we know many of those things that exist. But the comfort is okay when it's come with you build your inner core. But if your inner core is broken and somebody just do this to you and you fall apart, you are already fall apart before that person touch you. If you want to do training to yourself before Rosh Hashanah, is how you taking criticism. How strong you are to take it. Doesn't mean somebody come and crush you, abuse you. Talking about how do you take in criticism. What do you do with that? You take a note when somebody give you criticism. Oh, 1 second, let me open, let me take a pen. What else you say? Well, you need to lose 20 pounds. Great. What else? Nose too big. Nose too big. You're walking too slow. Too slow. What else? I mean, think about it. Why you diffuse people by accepting their criticism? Because mentally or psychologically, they have nothing to say. But spiritually, why? Because you open your soul to receive what they want to give. They give you, you received it. They can't give it again. Can't give something you gave again. You gave it. But once you close yourself with masach, with a curtain, and there is no more blessing that can come in, what the Kabbalists call Or Mekif, surrounding light, I'm not going to go into the secret of it, then the blessing, which is criticism, cannot come in. As I mentioned before, the disc from the Beatles, when they record all the music, people are crushing them. I have Janis Joplin too. She record their stuff. Bobby McGee, the name of the song, until she got it right. My God. It seemed like a simple song. Everybody can do it. It's not. Not. So Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, look at this. The entire parasha, non-stop crushing them. ואומר לא אוכל לבדי לשאת אתכם. And the in-between is sneaks some blessing, like a father and son. Father and son. The father loved the son, he crushed him so bad, and he makes sure that when he get to life, the worst thing ever happened to him is the criticism of the father. And the rest will be easy ride. Many parents believe in different style, which is also work. They say, build your kids so well and make sure that they're capable of doing everything until they meet life. Like this, the stress will never meet them until they are 23, let's say. When 24, they go face life, they're more mature, they have gadlut bet, and they can handle life a little bit better. Seems like a good style as well. I'm not here to tell you what style to educate people you love. But I'm telling you, for you, how you deal with criticism show how powerful you are in your own eyes. If one little compliment take you high, and one little criticism crush you, you need help. But it's not mental help. You need help to work on yourself, to believe who you are. Or as Faith said before, the balance. Because that's something is missing. You have to practice, almost handle. And there is many practice that I did with people years ago. You know, when we put TV and we choose different bad words or that they don't like, and we record it and we let them watch it. Those days used to be a video, until they no longer react, okay, to what they watch on TV. I'm not a Scientologist, I'm not, so I mentioned I love to study a lot of things. So in Scientology, one of the things, they call it go clear. I don't know if you heard the word go clear. Scientology invented a concept called reactive proactive in 1970. They invented the concept of reactive proactive. How you react to what people say to you, show that you're still low. They give you like category. And now when you become proactive, you no longer belong to that level. That's when you left that level. You're above that. Okay? So Moses is talking to the people. When somebody tells you, you are bad, you are really bad, should be motivate you. Should be motivate you, okay? But we don't get motivated by negativity because society don't offer it. Our society only offer positive motivational talk. It's almost addictive. There is a sign on Pico. I took a walk with my wife on Shabbat, and the sign say, come and we help you with your addiction of cancellation. You saw that sign? If you're in LA and you suffer from the disease of cancellation, we can help you with this, consider it addiction in LA. People cancel. You ever been canceled on? Anybody in this room? Yes, you did. Did you ever cancel on others? No, I never did that. I'm a tzaddikat. I'm righteous. But the idea of cancellation, Why you cancel? Not comfortable. There is a better deal. There is always, we're looking for the best. You know, always looking for the best. But within not the best, there is also something. You're growing. So we want almost to walk to a supermarket and get everything ready. We want our men to be ready. We want our women to be ready. We want our children to jump out of a can and we put it in the microwave and they grow. We have that situation. Criticism is a wake-up call. Hey, you can do way better than that. You should get excited about it. That's how Moses and the last book of Moses is all criticism. All criticism. So I want to make sure that I mention to you what's in the parasha. Now, criticism, my wife told me you actually wrote the lecture on a paper. I'm so impressed. I not normally put it here, those of you who know me. But I decided to do it. I had time today. I enjoy that. I used to do it like that. So, what is exactly you need criticism, especially now before Rosh Hashanah? Because we know Saturday night, hopefully all of you will be here to hear the Megillah of Echa. We're sitting on the floor, we light candle, and try to make an effort not to go out at night, and focus not to eat, fast, and all this and that. But I'm not going to tell you the details now. So the Ari explained in the gate of meditation, and tonight is the Ari, so I mentioned physics from the Ari. Avera goreret avera. A sin make you do another sin. Or as Degel Machane Ephraim, the book Degel Machane Ephraim by Rabbi Moshe Chaim Ephraim, one of the greatest Kabbalists, to my opinion. And he writes something from the Ari. The Ari writes, Adam and Eve commit two crimes. Eating from the tree of knowledge before the time, against what God commit them, and making love before the time as well. Exactly, those are the only two sins. What exactly the serpent, the snake want, the dark side want? The dark side only want them to make love before the time. Because through sexuality, it could control everything. And of course, there is 1,000 opinions on that, and it's not the place to go into what really happened. There's a place to learn from that. When you're fighting with your negative side, your negative side is never telling you what the negative side wants, and you will never know. Try to imagine yourself living in places different than the city place. Jacksonville, for example, right? And you travel to New York City and you arrive to Grand Central, right? And you have enough money to stay in a Four-Season hotel, if you know where it is in New York. And you have money, but you're very confused. And I don't know if you know New York in the 70s. When you are confused in New York, you smell confused. And hunter will arrive. Like 20 seconds, you'll be surrounded. And when you'll be surrounded, you will get offered like this. That's what in the 82, they will offer you to help you. You'll be smart enough to say no. It's almost like fighting with your negativity. Then they will tell you, hey, why don't I help you? Say, no, I don't need your help. Say, okay, I have a car, I can drive it. And I drive you with everything you have, $100 to Four-Season hotel. You start to negotiate, no, 40. Say, no, 50. No, I'm not going to give you, I cannot, and you're fighting. In the end, $38. You're going into the car, you think you get the bargain, right? You get things, and as you're getting off the car, you say, just take your stuff in the back. You go to get your stuff in the back, and the driver take off. By the way, things like this happen physically. I'm talking, happened to me, happened to many people. It happened, it's called a lesson that's worth the money that you lost. You learn a lesson. Well, they tell you, welcome to New York. What I'm trying to tell you by this, when you're fighting the negative side, you always think that you know what the negativity is. So he fight you with the tree of knowledge. You think that was his goal? It was never his goal. That's how he fooled them. The goal was that they make love on Rosh Hashanah, which was harsh judgment, and before Shabbat. And he got his deal. But was to eat from the tree of knowledge was a crime? Yes, it is. But that crime is a crime before you make the real crime. So when you do something wrong by mistake, you're about to do something terrible, not by mistake. Always worry about all the bad things you do by mistake. Because the thing you do not by mistake is a tolada, is a outcome. It's a result of doing the thing not by mistake. So many people that you tell them tochacha, you tell them what's wrong with them, you criticize them. How dare you did it? And the answer, I did it by mistake. And they think it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. Huge deal. Whatever you do by mistake is a nightmare. Because whatever you do by mistake, it's never the thing that you correct. Do you correct thing you did by mistake? No. Do one for me. If somebody come and tell you, you did this by mistake, and scream at you, how dare you? You still did by mistake. What do you want? I'm late by mistake. You step over a person, mistake. I know a guy in New York that played with a gun and killed his girlfriend by mistake. There's a camera. Prove it. He's not in prison. Good lawyer. Explain the gun as an issue. Whatever. A mistake. Happened to come to see me. Not by mistake. I said, just be careful, you might kill another person. So then, your whole life, there's one thing you need to know. You drive 20, and you look around. Because you meant to kill another person. That's not her. There's another person who's coming in your way. He left so upset. Then he called me and said, oh, there. His father came, and I talked to him. So I'm telling you, let me show you. He did something by mistake, the next thing will be worse. And the dark side will not leave you alone. So anything you did by mistake will give birth to the thing you do purposely eventually. Because the dark side only wants from you to do something by mistake, randomly. But it's not random for the dark side. It makes you busy with that. And then when you do tshuva, when you do pray and say, I'm sorry, God, you only say, I'm sorry for the thing you did purposely. But if you look at the pray, I hope one day you look at what you're saying, and you pray in the Siddur of Rosh Hashanah, you say, על עוונות שעשינו במזיד, ועל עוונות שעשינו בשגגה. For the thing I did purposely, and for the thing I didn't do purposely. It's written. Why do you put it there? If it's by mistake, what's new? Secret of life. Less you take seriously the concept of doing bad things by mistake, worse your life becomes. More you're taking seriously the small thing you did by mistake, your life is about to change. Nobody can catch you. Don't ever be busy with the thing you did purposely, because they are just the result. Of course, you have to stop doing it. If a person plays with a gun, he might kill someone. But playing with a gun is by mistake. Killing that person seems by mistake. Careful, guys. So, Degel Bachane Ephraim say, Avera goreret Avera. You start with one negative thing, also positive thing turn into another positive thing. You can do, in the worst time of your life when you're sad and depressed, try to do one positive thing. It will turn into other positive things to join. And there is so much to say about it, but that's why I never write my lecture, because then I will talk forever. What's the tikkun? What's to do? What's to do with your life? Where to start? Dekel Bachane Ephraim talk about it. So you say this whole parasha, because of the criticism of Moses, teaching us there is three aspects of change. One called tshuva, repentance. One called tefillah, pray. And one called tzedakah, charity. And we need to address every one of those important tools תשובה. סתו אז דגל מחנה אפרים, תשובה מלבינה את העוונות. They take the crime and the sin and dematerialize it until it become white, until it become pure. And it causes you not to do it again when you do tshuva. But I have to explain what is tshuva. Now then we get general and then I will go details. Tefillah, pray, elevate you to the next level. When you're in the next level, you no longer want to do negativity. And charity help you that the only reason you did a crime is because your attachment to physicality. Let's start with tshuva, repentance. How do you do repentance? Where do you start? First, you have to be sorry for any negative things that came out of you. Any negative thing, by mistake or purposely. Second, you have to ask for forgiveness if there is a person there. If it's from God, if it's from person. Third is not to do it again. And fourth is, once you're ready, fourth is only when you're ready, to ask the universe to give you a test in the same area. So let's say there is a guy who has a disease of cheating. Why do I call it disease of cheating? Cheater stay cheater. Whoever doesn't get the note from last lifetime, I'm giving you the note. Cheater stay cheater. You cheater. Cheater. So the person wants to stop being a cheater. First, you have to be sorry. Also for himself. Why am I not better? Second, say sorry to all the people you hurt. There is a great movie on that. It's an old one, not the new one, Flatliner, but the original one, not the one they did now. I don't remember but there is one guy there who always cheat. Everybody saw Flatliner, the original one. It's kind of an old movie. I still like it. I think it's the tshuva. It's all about tshuva, all about repentance. Yeah, it's a bunch of doctors who, how would I describe it, bring themselves.
They die for the experience on the other side, and then they bring the person back. And one just kept wanting to go longer and longer, but they were surprised what they saw.
Yeah.
Like
then they showed them everything they did wrong.
Yeah.
And one of them was a cheater. So he didn't know that the women have so much pain and want to commit suicide. He said, woo. So he started changing. Not just for them, he want to become a better human being. He didn't know that the effect of his behavior will go that far. Flatliner. Anyway, so the tshuva, then you say, I'm sorry. Then you don't do it again. And then you ask to be tested. That's the fourth one. He said, please bring me enough women to make sure that I know how to pass. Who did that? King David. We spoke about it 3 weeks ago. Passed all the tests. All the tests. Whatever people accuse him of, he passed. Anything you test me, I can do. That's what he said to God. And God tested him for everything. Done. That's called tshuva. Pray. I don't know how many of you are pray from a book or not from a book. On your own or not your own. It has to be same time, every day. Whatever pray that you choose to do. If you want the basic, you can do the basic. But you're going to do something. The prayer itself elevates you to places that you become friendly with the Creator. You become in the chamber. Because if you think about why you committing crime or making negative thing, because at that moment, you don't acknowledge of the existence of the Creator. That's the only reason you make a sin. If you truly believe the Creator is sitting right now here, your thought, your talk, your doing will be different. And in front of the Creator, there is the book, and you know the book by heart, what to do and what not to do. That create me That's the book of how to be alive in this universe and how to have good time or bad time. He created me, he wrote the book, and he said, yes, I use it. And I see it, or him, or her, whatever you want to call it, them, all the time. So the prey is supposed to get you there. That's a prey. If the prey don't get you there, that's better to read Pinocchio. Close your eyes, elevate yourself, be in the chamber. And then either you can say thank you, ask for help, whatever you want to do. Let's pray. It's the second level of change, or tikkun. Third level, charity. Why charity? Charity today lost its value a little bit. Everybody asks for charity. Any museum asks for charity. Any religious organization asks for charity. Every spiritual organization asks for charity. Non-profit, thousands of non-profit, millions of non-profit. So what is charity really? What is charity? Everybody's into charity. Tzedakah. Tzedakah is similar to the word tzedek. Tzedek means justice. But there is A in the end. The A is the A of Rachamim, the A of mercy. Still, what is that? When a person do charity, it's a difficult thing to do. Because it's written in the Talmud, Mamono shel Adam chaviv alav. The money of an individual is dear to the individual. Every physical thing which is yours, because of the body consciousness, we mix of good and evil. We are a mix. Since the serpent, the soul is good, the body will be evil for the rest of our life. Only if we overcome the body really good. You know, like become a monk. No food, no sex, no pride, nothing. Then you control the body. But then you cannot be respected for doing it. Because if you get respected, again the body gets the benefits. Difficult. But tzedakah is the ability of you to disconnect from physicality or make you commit all those negative crimes. And my friend, charity, money, one thing. Not enough. Volunteer, another thing. Compliment, another thing. But if a person tell you, I remember that wonderful gentleman who teach me how to speak, not because he was my teacher, because he was smart enough. New York, of course, New York City. I said, you need to give charity. And he said to me, why you always ask for charity? Let me give you everything else but money. I said, but I don't need anything else but money. I said, but I'm ready to give you. You see, you don't even want it. I remember that talk. And I was wondering what to answer. I didn't know what to answer. I was new. I said, I remember one day, I went back there after a few years. And I said to him, money is the only thing that you're going to give and you're going to have less. Everything else you're going to give, it's never going to get off your book. See, if you have $1,000 in your pocket and you give 100, you're going to stay with 900. But if you're going to give me time, you don't feel like you lost any time. You don't give it. So everything else you give because you don't need it or you don't want it. So I told him that, and he was shocked with the answer. So you remember me from 3 years ago? I said, yes. It bothered me a lot. And I remember it was 37th Street between 7th Avenue and 8th Avenue. It was an important lesson for me because it made me grow to explain that. So charity is to give something that you know you're going to have less because of it. If God want to bless you with more, why not? Why not? And I remember one of the training that I did with my children, every time we eat dinner, I reach out to their plate since they're young and take part of their food. Without permission, of course, with my hand. The reason I used to do it to them, it's not from a dirty point of view, if you have OC situation, no. It's from a point of give up what you got. You know, every plate, you will have now 3 pieces of fish instead of 4, and I'm going to have 5. Jealousy can happen, problem can happen, a lot of things. You have to train yourself. Because if you don't train yourself with charity, if you don't train yourself, then even if you have money, you will be sad. And if you're not going to have money, you're always going to be jealous from people who have it. You can never be happy with the physicality you have, with the blanket you have, with the pillow you have, with the hotel you choose. Always you will be miserable. But when you learn to give, you're always happy. You always have more. And you don't know where it's come from. You always have more. Because the blessing is around you. So, the idea of Moses in Parashat Devarim is to do tochacha that people can do those three things. Telas degel machane Ephraim. Tshuva, tefillah, v'tzedakah. You got to start doing from now till Rosh Hashanah those three things. To work on yourself. Make sure you meet me or Debbie to work to see what you need to work on. Then pray. Then charity. You cannot skip that. Say, oh, nobody know. You know. Even God will forgive you, but you know. You know that you're not capable to give. If you know that you're not capable to give, how do you feel about yourself? You feel yucky. And if you don't feel yucky about yourself, that you cannot give, then something is really wrong with you. Because the nature of humanity is to give. You cannot just inhale, you have to exhale eventually. I'm never going to give this away. You have to give if you want more. It's a yin and yang, it's the nature of life. And if you always think about yourself, you cannot get out of the situation. And of course, eventually you will be sad or something will bother you. Kerem Shlomo, which is a Kabbalist who passed away in this month, write to us from Rabbi Isaac Luria, and I saw it in Rabbi Isaac Luria, that in this parasha, because it says Devarim, Devarim means to talk. And I hope all of you will hear the Torah. And we're planning on having Shabbat here, so don't forget to come. It's control the time that you want to say something and nobody understands you, or you want to say something and it come wrong out of your mouth. I don't know if it ever happened to you. When you spoke and it came wrong. And the name of those two klipot, tell us the Ari, called Sichon ve'og. Sichon ve'og are the klipot. Klipot means shells or cover. They don't allow us to speak the right words. And the Gaon Mevilna continue and he say, for that reason, evil speech. We talk a lot of time around us about other people. We all do that. We all. I say we, that's mean we. All. But this is, say the Gra, the Gaon Mevilna, what prevent you when you pray, that nobody among the angels will understand you pray. When you speak bad, your mouth no longer is strong enough that the prayer will manifest itself. And that's where you get stuck. So try not to speak about people if you can. At least talk less if you can. Because our entire existence has to do with how good we speak of others. All right? Now let's go to the Zohar a little bit. Here we go. First section. If we're already talking about prayer and tshuva, so I found you a section that will help all of us. Let's see how we're doing, okay? Here we go. Please.
Rabbi Elazar was journeying to see his father-in-law, Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Abba and the friends went with him. Rabbi Elazar opened the discussion with the verse, "My voice shall you hear in the morning, Hashem." What is the meaning of morning? He responds, it refers to the morning of Abraham, who is Chesed, that was roused in the world, as is written. And up Abraham rose early in the morning. When that morning arrived, that morning, that is Chesed, awakens in the world, which is a time of goodwill for all, and a time to do kindness throughout the world, to do the righteous and the wicked. Then it is a proper time period for prayer to pray before the Holy King.
So, what kind of question is, what is morning? What is morning? We all know what morning is, but we don't think about it. We don't think. Only the people who stay awake all night, not party, I mean, sitting and looking at the sky, how the color of the sky change. Tremendous beauty. Tremendous beauty. So beautiful. That change, tell us the Zohar, is a change of energy. It's the beginning of mercy in the morning. So if you're able to do your prayer from the first light in the morning, everything's been activated for the whole day. Whatever you do in sunrise define the day, how your day is going to be. Your sunrise. There's two things that define your life. Before you go to sleep, 5 minutes before you go to sleep, what are you doing? And 5 minutes before sunrise, what are you doing? Those are the two major times. Because I know a lot of people get lazy at that time of the morning. Wake up, and then you want to go to sleep, but make sure that that 1 hour, super seriously. It's defined all day. Let's continue.
Therefore, during that time, when that morning arrives and the king's captives, meaning those whose sin are bound in the chains of sin, find rest, it is a time for them to say prayers, and most certainly for those who repent and ask their request in the presence of the Holy King. In that time, a chieftain comes out of the south side. That is Chesed, and his name is Raphael.
Okay, so now we know every morning on south, the angel Raphael awake. So at least you know who you're talking to or you're talking through. So Raphael will help you if you want to do tshuva every morning from south. Go ahead, please.
There are all kinds of remedies in his hand. From the south side, that is Chesed, a spirit leaves and reaches the chieftain appointed over healing. That is Raphael. When the prayer reaches the Holy One, blessed be he instructs the members of his court not to begin the trial, because life is in the hands of the Holy One, blessed be he, and not in their hands.
Okay, so let's say you behave really bad. And in the morning, it's time for the court to open. I guess it's open at 9. No, I'm joking. It's open a little bit earlier. So the opening the court, there is issues. So Raphael is the one who protect them and say, not yet. Maybe that person will pray in the morning a real good prayer that can make a difference. Maybe he will commit or she will commit for a change. Maybe all those maybe things. And we are taking, it's too hot today. The sun is not, we are talking nonsense while we don't even know what's going on in our file. And we are so blind, we're blind. It's a very serious, morning is a very serious business. That's why I said, what is boker? What is morning? We know what's boker. All this happening in the morning, we don't even feel it. We turn on the TV, what kind of traffic will be, nothing relate to what's going on. Let's continue.
Because it is a time of favor, the Holy One, blessed be he, looks to find merit for that person. If he is at prayer or he is repenting, he has compassion on him. And that time the voice of nesting birds is heard, as is written, where the birds make their nests. Because these birds think and praise the Lord.
Listen to the birds in the morning before the light break. If you wake up early enough, you're going to hear birds. But this is physical. This is not just spiritual. Because the birds pray. Birds pray in two ways. Either chirping or either flopping. When my new book of mystical knowledge will come out, where I'm teaching palm, face, birds language, candle language, all this language, soon it's going to be in a book, soon, I mean more than a year. So you will see everything is around you talking. There's a language around you. You just have to tune and listen to it. And everybody can do that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Because these birds thank and praise the Holy One, blessed be he. The morning gazelle woke up in the world, said, "Oh, how great is your goodness, which you have laid up for those who fear you."
Even the morning speak. The morning itself has a language too. What the morning say, wow, so beautiful. You know, it starts powerful.
Then the appointee over healing goes forth and does all that he is instructed to do.
So if I right away make sure that that person who prayed, did tshuva, did everything, say, hey, excuse me, I know he did bad, but look, the prayer is good, tshuva is for real, I'm sorry, I'm going to defend that person. Okay? Let's continue.
If you think that the types of healing are in the power of the appointee, as we mentioned, it is not so, because remedy is only in the hands of the Holy King. However, at the moment when the Holy One, blessed be he, instructs a remedy for that person, the appointee goes out, and all the prosecutors that are appointed for awful diseases fear him. Then the spirit that travels from the south side, that is the spirit of Chesed, extends that Chesed to that person, and behold, there is healing. However, all is in the hand of the Holy One, blessed be he.
We need to be excited in this lifetime only for these last 2 minutes. Just because we read it, we should be excited for the rest of our life. And this need to be read and need to be excite you again and again. And even in LA, sometimes it's difficult to be excited because the energy of the city is, how can I forget about you.com, okay? This is the name of the energy. And how can I forget about my commitment.com too? Still, you gotta be strong to elevate because we are in exile. We are actually in Egypt. You're not in LA, you are in Egypt. This is the Egypt of today. You live in Egypt of today. We're so happy to live in Egypt of today. We have the Pharaoh, we have the idols, the Oscar, right? We have everything. We have it all, thank God. We live in Egypt. If we able to live in Egypt, instead of worship, the comfort, start worship myself, I want to work on myself, then everything will change. Remember, you're not in LA, you're in Egypt. Seriously, I'm not joking with you. I just want to show you how much miracle you can do with one prayer. And this is what I bring that story to you. Most of you, I think, heard it from me, but it's always good to hear it again. Go ahead, please.
They detoured from the road and went there. When the townspeople saw them, they all went to welcome them. And these friends entered the house of Rabbi Yossi of Peki'in.
Just to tell you the story before, the son of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai arrived to a town. When they arrive to any city, any village, they're a miracle maker, physical miracle maker. So wherever they arrive, everybody stops. Oh my God, they are here. So everybody have a list of miracles they need. Like, hey, I need this, I need that. They arrive. But they didn't go with the people. They just purposely went to somebody's home. Go ahead.
Rabbi Yossi had a little boy who wouldn't allow anyone to get close to the bed of his father after he died. He alone was by it, crying over him with his mouth over his mouth.
So, mouth over his mouth, usually you know it from the Italian mafia, but that's not what it is. You also know it from the Bible, from the prophet Elisha. The prophet Elisha, who resurrected the baby named Habakkuk, who became a prophet as well. So mouth to a mouth, it's not just a kiss, it's not CPR, maybe it is, it's the idea of extension of a soul, when you give a soul. So the son cried and tried to resurrect his father, but his father died. Not a lot to do. Go ahead.
The child opened with Master of the Universe. It says in the Torah, if a bird's nest chance to be before you, you shall surely let the mother go. The child was crying and weeping. He said, Master of the Universe, abide by that matter that is in the Torah. We were 2 children to my father and mother, myself and my younger sister. You should have taken us and acted in accordance with the words of the Torah, as it says, but you shall surely let the mother go and take the young to you. If you should say, Master of the Universe, it says mother and not father, this is the same, my father and mother. As mother died and you have taken her away from the children. And now my father also, who is our protection, you took away from the children. Where is the just sentence in the Torah? Rabbi Elazar and his friends cried before the grief and tears of the child.
So there is a shocking story. And I don't think I took a lot of you to Rabbi Yossi the Pekin with me. Maybe one of you came with me. It's a road to go there, schlep. But what exactly the Zohar teaching us here? Father died. The child already lost his mom. There is a law in the Bible called Shiluach HaKen. If you see a nest and you see a mother, and there is young chick, small young birds, you take the young birds and you push the mother away from the nest. Seem cruel behavior. And it says if you do so, you're going to have a long life. Now, if we want to take it as a code, that means something spiritual. If you want to take it literally, what for, is because when the bird is crying and screaming for the pain she's going through, the female, the mother, then automatically the universe cannot operate by one area. If there is mercy, mercy comes for everyone. If there is problem comes to everyone. So when the bird's flapping the wings and screaming, then God has to bring mercy to the world. So if somebody is supposed to suffer, everybody will not suffer beside that bird. So that birds basically sacrifice their children for the sake of everybody else have mercy. That's what the Zohar explained, that's what the Torah explained. The young child say, God, let me follow your law. And in those days to speak like this was tough. This is 2,000 years ago. He said, you should take the kid and not take the mother. Here, you took the mother, and now you take the father. And the kids, you leave here. Because the word literally means take away. So God, if you follow what you wrote, you're supposed to take the children and keep the parents. Start screaming. Now around him, those people can resurrect the dead. But they cannot resurrect dead without permission from God. And they start crying with him. They didn't know what to do. That's when his level of prayer, his level of tshuva, passed such a high level. And, with the tears is in the eyes. It's netzach ve'od. From a Kabbalistic point of view. So when you cry, you remove judgment. So they couldn't. Just nothing. They could do nothing but crying and join the kids. Shocking story. And it continued.
Rabbi Elazar opened the discussion with the verse, the heaven for height and the earth for depth. While Rabbi Elazar was saying this verse, a pillar of fire separated them from the departed. But the child was still attached to the lips of his father and did not separate. Rabbi Elazar said, this is why the pillar of fire separated. Either the Holy One, blessed be he, wishes to perform a miracle and revive him, or he desires that no one else deal with him. However, I cannot bear to see the child's tears or to see what he is saying.
So you say, I cannot take the tears of the kids, but it seems that Rabbi Elazar could already perform a miracle while he starts speaking those words of Torah. Let's continue. This.
While still sitting, they heard another voice that said, blessed are you, Rabbi Yossi, that the speeches of the young goat kid and his tears rose to the throne of the Holy King and pronounced the sentence. And the Holy One, blessed be he, handed 13 people for your sake to the angel of death, to redeem you. Behold, they have added 22 years to your life, so you will have time to teach the young kid perfect and beloved before the Holy One, blessed be he.
So there is a shocking information here. And it's time to know the shocking. 13 people had to die instead of that one guy. So there is a balance in this universe, very interesting. I mean, it's a dark side of the Zohar that most people don't like to explain and read, but people need to know, which means we can hide it and just make the Zohar sound good and goodbye. But something's going on in this section. 13 people gotta go for that one person to come back. There's a deal. There's negotiation. Okay, I give you this. Okay, give me 13. And I'm not going to go into it. Really not going to go, not at night. But you read it. It's there. And then he tell him, I will give you 22 years more just to teach your little kid Torah. Then check out. At least you know when he's going to die. Out. Last section.
Rabbi Elazar and the friends rose and did not allow anyone to stay in the house. They immediately saw the pillar of fire was gone. Rabbi Yossi opened his eyes, and the child was still glued with his lips to his lips. Rabbi Elazar said, blessed is our lot that we witness the resurrection of the dead eye to eye. They approached him, and the child fell asleep, as if he were expiring from this world. They said, blessed is your lot, Rabbi Yossi, and blessed is the merciful one who performed a miracle for your sake due to the crying and weeping of your son and his words. Life was added to you for his words, that he was pressing with beautiful speeches to the gates of heaven in his pleading and tears.
It's a beautiful story, to my opinion. The question, can we do it? And that question needs to be answered by the only way, if you know you can do something, or you desire it, or you commit to do it, is when you don't stop doing it until it's done. And what I start with, tefillah, teshuvah, and tzedakah. Let's say you want to become a better person. You want to have a better life. You want to be happy all the time, but all the time happy. Happy all the time. There is a transformation that needs to take place for your life to be perfect. But it's there. And it requires those three things. Remember, teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Repentance, pray, and charity. And you have to focus on those three things to change yourself. And every time when you give charity with the consciousness that I'm giving this charity because I want help to become a better person. Or I'm giving this charity so I can become a better believer. Today, when I was praying, I don't like to talk when I pray. So a lot of time when you pray, there's many people come to us for charity. Every time they knock on your back for charity. Not on the door, on the back. Only pray. So today, usually I don't take my wallet with me, but the wallet was there. I was happy. So I had only $20 bill. So usually they take $1, $2, 25 cents. So I gave him the 20, and I can't talk, so I said like that, 5. So he turned to be 5. And I couldn't even look at him, because I'm not going to be criticizing him over that now. He's a rabbi, he's a nice guy. So I took it. So he came back, he took my hand. So to me, he realized that he did a mistake. And I said, it's okay. And I realized it was a mistake, but I didn't want to embarrass me. So he didn't stop, he held my hand, he didn't leave it, and he didn't stop blessing me. So now it's really good. All my tzedakah go into the garbage. All the people now seeing it, the ego come in, I'm going to tell the story in the lecture. All gone. Like it was good, now it went. And the idea I want to try to tell you, in life, the event that you don't plan, the event that you don't know supposed to happen, and it seemed like somebody cheated you, took from you, there's blessing there. The blessing is not everything that you plan how good you're going to do. Because the good that you do, and things will not work out the way you want it, now we're talking. The son of Rabbi Yossi teaches us a lesson. And those of you who join me to Israel, Bli Neder will take you there, to that location where it happened. It's a very important week, very important weekend. Remember, Saturday, forbidden to miss by hook or by don't miss. Saturday night, I don't care what you do with your life, do not miss it. Your entire negative attack amount depends on Saturday night. How often you will be attacked depends on Saturday night.